the full show that Edwin Sifuna made in a particular media house last week. And it was a very long show, and I think so many things came out. But one thing that stood out during that particular interview was that Sifuna was very clear that why in the first place they entered into this arrangement, I mean ODM entered into this arrangement with Kenya Kwanza government, specifically President Ruto, was the need after the revolution of last year by Gen Zs, was the need to sustain, in the words of Edwin Sifuna, a democratic government and sustenance of life. I may not remember the exact words. Sustenance of life and the sustenance of a democratically elected government. Mm-hmm. And according to Sifuna, and why he thought that the MOU is dead, the sustenance of the state, actually he called it the state, the sustenance of the state is there, which was the major stake of President Ruto, which was the major interest of President Ruto, to see to it that the sustenance of state happened because, of course, it was under threat. But then sustenance of life has not been there, because since then, so many, especially young people, have been killed by the police. And so I think for me, it's a question of whether ODM still wants to stand by its ideology. And that's, I think that is what Wakili Nyaribo is pointing at. That ODM is known to be the party, or its ideology is known as that of fighting for human rights. And that is why early last year they had a protest against a high cost of living in Kenya. Now, the most basic human right is the right to life, which Kenya Kwanza, of course, has violated in a big way. And so, I think what we would ask of ODM is, do you want to exchange the rights of Kenyans with the goodies you are getting from this government? Because let us be realistic. Why ODM finds it so hard to exit from this particular arrangement, even with violation, with the violation of the arrangement that they had, I mean the conditions for the arrangement, I mean the 10-point agenda, is because of the goodies that ODM continues reaping from this particular arrangement. So the question then becomes, are we ready, or as ODM, is ODM ready to exchange, you know, its ideology, its legacy with the benefits? And the benefit, when I talk about benefits, you will listen to ODM legislators especially, and all they tell you is, no, you know, with this arrangement we are getting projects, we are getting roads, we are getting water, we are getting, and of course the positions. Like if I tell you about the Senate where I come from, I mean where I mean all the chairmanship positions that are taken from, you know, from those of us who come from the mountain were given to ODM. I mean, look at these CSs that they have, but basically the goodies that they continue receiving. So I think ODM should be clear on what their priority is. The other thing I want to say is that what is reported may not be the entire story. Because of course, I don't think this particular meeting of the Central Management Committee was held, you know, in public. It is only what was reported that we can discuss here. But I know that there is a lot of discontent in ODM.